Hello, men. Hello, Mgtows. Wanted to talk a little today about burnout and past pain and stuff like that. Most of the time, I think to myself, I haven't got time for this pain. Putting away the pain and working through burnout, doing these self-check processes that we do in Monkgtow. I often hear it suggested that verbalizing an emotion may activate the right ventral lateral prefrontal cortex, which is supposed to suppress the area of the brain that produces emotional pain, just talking about things. But I find that in the dark recesses of the night, being alone and, sleeping alone, screaming out, fuck this, is not verbalizing. It's a reaction to being overwhelmed. For a variety of reasons, my psyche contains a lot more things than an average blue pill mind. It's just the way we are. We can't, there's a lot of thought, a lot more thought than in reality is needed. And sometimes I have to put these thoughts away, just try to find some serenity or peace. These thoughts, by sheer quantity, makes Mgtow order quite tricky sometimes. Hence, we get burnout. Plus, I've taken on some extra pets, these extra humans, every mind has these psychic pets, which I call them, a few children, that's painful that we've lost, a few old females that we may have lost in our lives, these pain of romanticism and romanticizing things from the past that were, quite painful, ruminations. I sometimes want to cap that with chaos and disorder. Go out, just blow off some steam, which I would say as a man, but it sometimes doesn't work. This disorder is invitable as a distraction. If it weren't for these distractions, sometimes I think I'd be lost, or I often think about or have to admit to be quite comfortable in either environment in my life. But the fact struck me years ago that in both worlds I needed to make an effort to put things away, to help the adult in me find some peace and serenity, something to fall back onto, a backdrop. Early in my Mgtow walk, I heard a video which was titled Dumping the Blue Pill Garbage or something like that. The garbage the pundit was talking about was anger, bitterness, cynicism, and many other negative things that was in my mind and in our minds that can produce this stuff. I sat at the Mgtow pew, that pew in the Mgtow church, struggling big time, as it seemed he was talking about me, but not really about me. Before Mgtow saved me, I was a cynical, bitter person most of the time. After I was saved, or rescued, I think is a better word, I found that it was better, but there were times when that negativity seemed to rise up again in me, when due to circumstances in life, and we have to all live in this life surrounded by women and blue pill people. I did not want to do the work that was necessary. I was listening to the descriptions of the processes he was talking about, but I was grabbing at the fruit of it, the low-hanging fruit, and what was easy, and I wasn't digging in no roots in Mgtow. But going after the immediate happiness of hearing there was other men like me sharing my feelings and my opinions and my thoughts about gynocentrism and women in general, and these pain and everything that had occurred to me in quite a long life before I was in Mgtow. What he didn't tell me was decades later I would still be doing this thing, not pulling up the roots of bitterness and cynicism, still waking up in the night screaming, fuck this, you know, that rumination. This is a painful growing period. Even back years later, I still replaced them with something less than joyous and, you know, serenity. I haven't grown these roots. I still search every day, you know, for these things. I'm only human. It's funny, with every bad memory, it's propped up, it stands on its own, propped up by years of man-up garbage, and with the additional help from these harmful, you know, self-medicating things, you know, drinking and you know, when I was younger, drugs, and when I got older, sex and women. I was propping these things up with these harmful addictions, and at 50, forcing me at 50 years old to deal with such childish matters, and still trying to grow some roots, trying to water them or caring for them, and trying really hard to tend for the soil in a man's mind, in my mind, which is rocky and sometimes unable to grow anything that resembles a fruit-bearing tree or something that's edible or something I can sink my teeth into. I just keep going through this, and Mgtow helps with this process. It's a slow process. I mean, trying to turn that dirt, that old garbage, into you know, that starting soil that you see at the store. It's almost impossible sometimes. Planting seeds. I talked about this in one of my earliest videos. Mgtow's like seeds. One of them drop in front of you into that dirt, but the soil is just terrible soil. And so over the years, I try to put away these things. I put away these childish things, and it helps. And it helps. I mean, I haven't shot myself in the head yet. But often in life, circumstances, like I say, arises that we're going to need to put these things we've learned to full test. And this test will tell you exactly where you're at sometimes. And that's what I'm going through now. I got a little burnout period. There's been some emotional things that's happened in my life over the last few months. And I'm putting this Mgtow knowledge and this dirt to test. And quite frankly, I found that the dirt's lacking. The roots haven't grown as much as I thought they would. But I'm going to keep working at it. And it's still alive down there, and I have to tend it some more and try to tend it some more. And that might mean sometimes taking some time for myself. Taking a lot of time for myself over these next few weeks, and getting back to a mentally cognitive state of mind where I can, you know, make these videos and do these things as a Mgtow that's needed for me to do, and for, you know, quite frankly, some of my viewers. So that's all I was thinking about today. It's a very difficult. I have a slight summer cold, and I made a total huge mistake with how I tend my physical body, and I was taking some medication over the last few months that I probably shouldn't have been taking, and I just realized it. It's just some generic store-bought supplements, and it's harmed me, and I have to undo this process, this damage that I've done to myself. And things like that, you know, the little things in life. You know, I try to maintain, you know, my body, and then I find out, God, I got that wrong. You know, I'm only human, and we do this with everything in life. We can't be 100% right on everything, and the emotional side of Mgtow often overwhelms you. You know, someone tells you you're not right about something, and you really? No, yeah, I'm wrong a lot. And people tell me that. Sometimes, a lot of times, sometimes they tell me I say something that's genius or you know, helpful to them, and that's the fruit of Mgtow. That's the fruit that bared from this tree that's, you know, I'm growing, this Mgtow tree. I don't want to go all whimsical on people today. I just want to, you know, let you know if I don't make quite as many videos as I usually do. I'm searching right now. I'm searching for something, and I'll find it. I'm sure I'll find it in Mgtow. I'm sure someone will say that right thing eventually that clicks in my head. This is where I gotta go. This is what I gotta do. And that's all I want to talk about today. Thanks a lot for being there, man. Thanks a lot for being, you know, Mgtow, and being there for me when I needed you. Thanks, Monkgtow.